And I have the sensational, the infamous, the one and only, the learning professional, your favorite content creator's favorite content creator, man, the one and only, the man with the only wife that I know that will film for him on YouTube.
Yeah.
Skyler Santana, everybody, man. Let's give it up for
What's
my
going on?
man,
Yes, sir.
bro.
What's up, people? Yeah, listen, she really held it down with that brew live. Actually, my sister-in-law was there. She's actually my unofficial official photographer, man. She's got the eye.
Really?
So yeah, man, we're keeping it in the family. And as this channel grows, I'm gonna have to put her on board a little bit more so as things develop because she takes phenomenal pictures. Like all the photos I did for my social media from that show was from her. And I'm
Hmm.
re-energized, bro. When you go to these shows, yes, sir.
Bro, that was crazy. That was
Hmm.
crazy.
Wrist check,
Hey,
bro. What you got?
wrist shot. All right, man. I have on my Laurier Neptune
Mmm.
version 4. You know what I'm saying? I had all black on
Mmm.
today. I had to wear something black and classy. I just left church, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Uh
repping New York, bro. I'm jealous. I gotta get me a Laurier one of these days. I
yeah,
definitely
bro.
have them in my sights, but it's gonna go down one day. I got the Lumint, right? The new
Mm-hmm.
Brew Lumint. This is what I picked up at the show. And then on the right wrist, I got the Brew Metric. So I'm all brewed up, baby. Let's
Ooh,
go.
bro.
Stand up, New York.
Hey, I just had me a cup of coffee as well. So, you know what I'm saying? We up in this thing.
That counts.
Yeah, yeah, that counts. That counts. Hey, bro, listen. Today, man, I want to talk to you. I want to get your opinion. I want everybody's opinion in the chat and those that's
Mm,
watching the replay. We want to talk watch journeys and the experience.
okay.
So I want to forewarn you, I did type this in chat GPT, which kind of pushed me on to looking at some watch YouTubers today. And I typed in chat GPT, what is a topic, number one topic on YouTube today? And you know the
Mm,
first thing chat told me? Watch making mistakes. That was the first thing it told
mm,
me. So I'll go over to YouTube. Just I want to verify chat because I'm really, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of out. You know, the jury's out on this one. And I'll be doggone if the first 3 videos I saw were mistakes making, you know what I'm
mm.
saying, in buying watches, right? And that had me, I listened to them, right? And I have to be honest, there was a few comments in there, man. There's a lot of contradictory going on, and it's kind of irritating. And I'm gonna tell you why. Just hear me out.
Sticking with you.
One of them I agree with because you really don't want to buy a whole bunch of pieces, man, just leading up to that one huge piece. But
Right.
then, who are we to deny you of learning what's the best thing for you? Who are
Yes.
we?
Right.
This is how
Right.
some people get that term gatekeepers. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to stir no trouble with anybody. So if this is seen as, hey, you attacking some of the other people, I'm not, because I am a collector. I'm a consumer. I'm an enthusiast. I enjoy this. This is a passion of mine. And if you lose your passion, if you are just robotical in this thing, man, and you started out with this passion, all I'm gonna tell you to do is you have to reflect on who you are. I can't tell you what to do.
Mm.
I won't. I refuse to tell you what to do when it comes to watches. But I'll be doggone, man, if I didn't hear some of the craziest, craziest contradiction, just it's, bro. Man, you know what? Take over, bro. Take over, cause I need a
Nah,
minute. I need a
listen,
minute.
listen. Yeah, I was letting you go through the process. I hear, dude. Here's the thing, man. So let's talk about watch collecting mistakes. And I think that that's a slippery slope because here's the deal. I think you said it the best way. We have to go through growing pains. We have to also allow ourselves to realize what we want to zero in on, what really is our taste. And that comes with buying a lot of watches in the beginning, of course, because you're first discovering this whole new world. It feels like a secret society sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because you look around, and I did this the other day, man. Yesterday, I went to the brew shop, and then I started looking at people's wrists. There's a lot of people not wearing them. If they are, they have Apple watches on, right? So once you discover this world and you start consuming content, I think that is also in line with what happens with buying too much too fast. But at the end of the day, bro, that's the training wheels, and I feel like that's how you really solidify what you like, what you don't like, and refine that. and then start making better purchases, smarter purchases. And I think it's fun, dude. I'm still in the process of whittling down my collection myself. And I wouldn't say a lot of the watches were mistakes. I just outgrew them, and that's normal, right? It's growing
Yep.
pains. It's also learning, and I wouldn't make it so much of a blemish as I would make it a process. You know what I mean?
I, I completely feel you, bro. That takes me down the rabbit hole. I want to get on the watch company Invicta right now.
Okay.
And I will say this. Shout out to all the people that's ever reviewed an Invicta timepiece. Those that have yet to know what the history of it. I'm talking about as far as the collectors. If
Mm,
you don't know, you just don't. It's a completely different thing. It's a different vibe. And the average Invicta collector has, I don't know, I'm gonna say 50 watches, right? I could be
mm,
wrong because there's some that has thousands of these
yeah.
watches, hundreds of these watches, and if they were rated by some of the top tier content creators here on YouTube, they all would be labeled as loony bins, crazy, people that don't have taste. They will be like the garbage bin of collectors, right? And these are judges, these are mechanics, police officers,
Hmm.
um, lobbyists, pastors. Like these are some of the best people that walked earth. Now, some of them are, some of them can be challenging people. I'm not gonna call them trash. I'm not gonna throw the people away like that. All of us are challenging to some extent, but
Right.
um, for the most part, they did it. They enjoy it. People still are collecting Invicta pieces today, right
Yeah.
now. They love the large pieces. They love all the different colorways. They love that weight on their wrist. It like in
Right.
some cases, people love to have so much weight today. They say, "Hey, that's what a quality is," right? And if
Hmm.
you, as a professional YouTuber, professional content creator, or just the horologist of all horology, right? You're like the Zeus of horology,
Right.
self-proclaimed. Um, who are you to tell that person that that watch isn't everything, right? Per-
Right.
okay, I want to kind of turn left a little bit, bro. Do you personally think, in your experience, is there a perfect watch to you?
Nah. Like, there's no such thing for me. There's no one watch that could do away with all my watches. It's all in. Like, the perfect watch for me is my entire collection as a sum total. And yeah, dude, that's just how it goes. And it has nothing to do with the fact of being obsessed about having more than you can even rotate. It has more about, you appreciate each piece for what it effectively does for you. Sometimes collectors use them as tools still in their life. My wife is part of that. That's why she actually became a watch collector. She's not exactly an enthusiast, but she didn't have a clock in her school. She's not the type to be on her phone when she's at work. So she fell in love with watches recently over the past year, locked in, because she was taking care of the kids. She's a preschool teacher, and she needed to know the time to segue into the next lesson plan that she was doing and everything else. So, as a sum total, I think that there's no such thing for me as a perfect watch. There's ones that I may admire more than the other person, but more than the other watch. But it's the whole kit and caboodle for me. You know what I mean? And as far, look,
Okay.
dude, and touching back on what you said about people putting that type of energy out there. Listen, let's talk about Invicta specifically. Peel back
Yes.
the layers, dude. And I know this only because of you, right? I think that it's just being ignorant. Invicta has a rich history. Invicta is a real company. No matter what you may agree on the design for to date, maybe you don't like the weight on your arm. I understand, but at the end of the day, they have such a history, dude, and they're plugged into so many other companies. We know that glycine is part of that as well. You've told us many companies that they've consumed. So, dude, there's a lot of history, and there's got to be a lot of respect for that. And they sell watches, and at the end of the day, anybody who comes in with that watch on is a watch enthusiast, and they have a seat at my table. Period.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm glad you brought up glycine because I brought my glycine out.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
I
There you
always got
go. Yeah,
examples,
yeah,
bro. You
yeah,
know, I always
yeah,
got
yeah. I
examples.
know.
You
I
feel
know.
me? So this one, and I want to just kind of loop in what the perfect watch is, man, because it was said that there's no perfect watch, but you know what? I think that actually applies. That varies between people. Um,
Oh yeah.
I went to my man Tony Woe, bro, one of his sons, my nephew. got married, right? I think it's been 2 years, and I met a
Mhm.
guy there. They had a two-tone Invicta Pro diver. I think it was a 44 millimeter
Okay.
blue. It had the blue face on it. It was like the silver and gold, and he's had that watch. I want to say like between 11 and 15 years. And he said,
Mhm.
"This is the only watch for me. This watch is perfect." That came out
Mm.
of his mouth. And I said, "So you've had that watch for over a decade?" He said, "Yes, man. I haven't taken like I take it off, of course, to shower and go to bed or whatever." He said, "But I will never take this watch off. If it breaks, I'm getting it fixed," type of deal, right?
Mm.
And it made me think. And you had said something earlier that you went when you went out to brew. I went out to the
Mhm.
mall yesterday. I walked around that mall, right? And a mall, 1,000 people
Yeah.
per hour, right? This mall, and I'm sitting there eating my little sandwich. I'm looking at everybody, and I'm wrist checking everybody. I saw a bunch of bust down watches. I saw a bunch of crystals here and there. I saw some Boulevards. I saw some Citizen. I saw one Invicta. I saw a ton of Apple watches for every. I'm gonna just say this: for every mechanical quartz watch that I saw, there were at least 4 or 5 more people wearing smartwatches.
Mm.
And then the rest of the wrists were bare, right?
Right.
So I'm thinking, and what do they have to buy from? Like you have Rogers and Hollins in there, you had Zales, and there was like 5 watch boutiques that sell watches with no, it got some kind of crazy name on it, but it's just a whole bunch of bust down type of stuff, and that's what people like. Oh, Dakota Watch Company is another one. So
Mm.
they have a bunch of homage pieces, and this is what people have to buy from, and this is what they love.
Right.
They don't like these are basic consumers. They go through and some, and I asked a few people before, not yesterday, but before, why do you like watches? Well, my grandpa wore a watch, so I feel like
Mm.
I have to wear one, right? Um, or it's great just to look down and see what time it is. It's a basic Timex or
Mhm.
Casio, your digital pieces and stuff like that. When you get into specialty pieces, your web-based brands, you see what I
Mhm.
did there? Your
Yeah.
web-based brands, yeah, I think you started something, bro. I think we're gonna get out of the whole micro brand space, and if we do, we have to credit this man right here. You're hearing it here today.
Bro,
When YouTube gets to that, stop saying the micro brand and start saying web-based. You
I
got to
just want
give
that
credit to that
reaction,
man.
bro. I want somebody to hear another person say web-based brand and be like, "Ooh, Santana said that first." Ooh, and listen, man,
Ooh,
we're all one wave, bro. You've coined a lot of things. I jacked a couple of those things. I'm not gonna lie. But we're evolving, man. That's what it's all about. We're evolving and we're changing. Listen, I never get so hung up on words at the end of the day, but for some reason, lately, micro has just not been it for me in my language, dude. Just seeing what these people do, the space that they create, the
mm-hmm.
energy that they put into it. I'm like, man, there's nothing micro about this, right? And I'm like, so what if they make X amount of watches a year? And I want to tie into that Apple Watch scenario. And I hate to bring Brew into it, but I gotta.
Come
If you
on,
got an Apple Watch and you have that kind of configuration, man, this is the configuration of an Apple Watch. However, it's a watch. So listen, I came from an Apple Watch. That was my first watch, bro. So it's
right?
our responsibility, you and I, and everybody else who are talking watches, to give that blessings of appreciation to mechanical or quartz watches and make that conversion over. And it's seamless, I think, man. When you already have something to the wrist, you already at that line where you could be converted to an enthusiast, man. And that's what I'm passionate about, talking about watches all the time with you, to hopefully get somebody interested enough to make that conversion over. And it happens. It happens. A lot of people started with an Apple Watch.
So I feel it, but and then think about this too, bro. Wouldn't that be? I think that's a great argument, right? Because Rolex is the industry leader as far as Swiss, right? They own a majority of the market share, over 30% of the market share, right? But then you look at if you compare Rolex to the digital age or the smartwatch,
Mm,
no comparison whatsoever. I'm talking
right.
about like they're not even in the same. They're not on the
Mm,
same planet,
right.
bro. So just imagine how many, because it's effective, man. You can get your heart rate, you get your steps, man. You can answer your emails, text messages, stuff like that. So it's
Hmm.
convenient for you
Yeah.
to have one of these. Because I've seen people wear analog watch and then you know what I'm saying, your smartwatch, and then I even seen the smartwatch that mimics And how does it? Oh, let me ask you this,
Mm,
because some people talk about homage watches shouldn't be a thing,
right.
but I seen the Apple Watch actually has a Rolex screen on it.
Yeah.
Like you could turn your Apple Watch to a Rolex. So what is that?
Yep.
Clomage?
All
A
right. Right.
digital clomage?
Bro, they have apps where even the second hand is a smooth sweep on the screen. I'm like, gee, they really doing
Wow, I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah. Listen, I did
Wow.
that. I did that. And look, I tried to keep the Apple Watch on board. I was double wristing. I had my little, and that was my way to the convenience of all that information is a thing for sure, bro. And I was double wristing the smartwatch, and then I had either a quartz or mechanical on the other wrist. What made me disconnect to the Apple Watch was having to keep connecting it to a power source. It had nothing to do with the appreciation or the knowledge that I was getting from mechanical or quartz watches. It had everything to do with, man, I gotta charge this sucker every day. And it's just another thing for me to upkeep. And then how much information that it provides am I really using that my phone doesn't already do? Okay, cool. My whole thing was like, it's tracking my sleep. I can see my quality of sleep. It don't matter if I know how good or bad my sleep was, bro. It's like get good sleep and then you have a good day. It don't. Oh well, I was in REM sleep for about 2 hours, so that means I'm beat today. Yeah, so like all that stuff for me just lost value, and I think that I want to tie that value part into what we're talking about as a whole, because it's like one thing I've learned to understand and appreciate is that everybody is enthusiastic, but everybody values things wildly different. And that's the part where we have to understand that makes us interesting and respect that part. Because you just told me that there's a guy who only like loves his one watch and he's hooked in and he's locked in. I'm a little jealous
Yep.
of that. And I would never say, oh no, man, you got to get this watch for this occasion. No, not at all. Like that's really cool that you can appreciate one singular watch for every occasion, have that attachment, and I'm envious of you in a good way because that's super dope. That's super dope. That's something that I'm not gonna say I can't do, but I'm gonna say I don't want to, but I can appreciate that
Right,
for sure.
right, right. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna show you guys a watch, bro. Um, 20 years of history, Bernhardt Watch
There it
Company.
is.
And this watch, I mean, I guess I could have put the sponsorship thing on there, but because I got a big discount off of this. But this watch company has been in business since YouTube has been alive,
Right.
right? And all this is reminiscent of a man and his wife. His wife like gave him the idea. This man started this company in his living room.
Mm,
Now, off the shelf movement, yes, you could talk about that. It has a Miota movement in it. World time,
mm-hmm,
it gave you a complication of world timing, so I could track a time zone
mm,
in Chicago or Bangladesh. You know what I'm saying? And then you have like the beauty of the back end of this thing. Now,
right.
it doesn't compare to a high end luxury watch, and I'm not trying to, but this
Right.
fits the need for somebody. They like that 70s design, right? That cushion style case. You got two crowns on this thing. I'm not trying to sell you the watch. I'm just telling you, for me, when I saw it, I fell in love with it. I love the double B's on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just everything about this watch I feel is great. You know what I'm saying? Well, the loom is okay. And Bernhardt, y'all, yeah, the loom is okay. It could
They
be
know.
better. However, I dig the watch because I got other watches that got crazy loom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'll tell you
Right.
another watch that I absolutely love. And this one,
Yeah,
the
that's a
loom
that's a
is
beast.
like, it could
Okay.
have been better. They do have a full loom dial though that I saw that it looks like
Mm,
it's great.
mm-hmm,
But this watch just checked the boxes for me as far as everything else, man, because Tissot PRX, and that's why I use that Tissot on the thumbnail. This right here, I like that Tissot PRX with the crushed carbon
right.
fiber. But this one was $450 less than that. Saved myself some money. I contributed, and like this is I consider this to be historical. When you
Yeah.
buy from a web-based brand, bro, you think about how many people, what was going on back in the 1800s when people were buying their watches, man. How many decisions were made with
Mm-hmm.
a shot of whiskey, a cigar, and a fine timepiece. I'm
Facts.
just, I, I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
And then if you go
I'm just
back in
saying,
that
bro.
time, if you go back in that time, there were so many different companies. There were so many people that were starting off just like how the web-based brands are starting off now, right? Like think about how many they all got lost after the quartz crisis, we could say. However, there were so many backyard companies and brands started by passionate people that were using on the shelf movements, if you will, because they couldn't do it themselves. That's a big feat. Which, by the way, we got to talk about Venetiano. They did some great things, but we'll get back to that. Yeah, dude, living through history is what we always say here. And Oscar made a good point. I want to touch on that. He gave us a whole paragraph about how somebody called his watch trash, bro, and that really that strikes a bone for me. Listen to me. If you out here and you say to anybody publicly, what you say in your own mind is one thing. If you call anybody's watches trash, then you're a piece of trash. Facts. That's just how it goes, man. Like that's a really bad snobbish attitude to have. And you should not put that energy out there because we just said how this community is so tight knit, it's so niche still, that we don't need that type of energy, bro. And that's really, really bad to put that out there. But that Zellos, dude, that's a work of art. And listen, when I went to the pop-up shop or pop-up store, my sister-in-law, she's like, trying to get an idea for how it would be. And I said, look, think of this like an art gallery. Like, how these artists put on their little displays and shows and you go there and appreciate their art. I'm like, this is what that is with watches. But the best part is that you can walk out of here and wear it on your wrist. So she's like, okay, I get it. So that Zelos is another work of art by them, and they make fantastic watches.
And you know what too, bro? Let's be 100% honest, man.
Mm,
I was just talking to Dave D about this last night. He was asking a question, and I'm gonna talk to you behind the scenes, bro, about this
uh,
because just going forward with content. When it comes to content creators, if you guys are running out of ideas, or if you just like are waiting to see what these smaller YouTubers are doing just to take their content to put it out there because you got the numbers, um, it's not even shame on you. It's something that you have to do yourself. You have to go back and see like what really motivated you. Why do you
mm,
want to collect watches? Not only collect watches, but try to explain and express to other people the beauty of watches. You said something so great, bro. Because my grandmother was an artist, right? And her
mm,
she had won an award back in like '93, and I have that painting in my house right now. So when she died, everybody got what they needed to get, you know what I'm saying, as far as assets and whatever. But that painting came to me,
okay.
and I have it, and I cherish that painting because it's actually a part of her childhood and what she saw
Mm,
as a kid, right? And that's all that these guys and gals are doing. You got 25-year-olds out here with their own watch company, bro.
yeah,
Like, think about that for a second. You got people that are like older, right?
yeah,
This is something they said, you know what? Let me jump into the game now. This is something I've always loved. And this is an interpretation. I go back to Bernhardt.
yeah.
That's the epitome of entrepreneurship. A dreamer that brought, I mean, it's not a dream no more, it's a reality. And then
Mm-hmm.
he had the support of his wife. You know what I'm saying? That don't always happen, man. Like you imagine when you start a business, the
Right.
naysayers now, and I'm not picking on AL Lalo, but I know in his family, they were given, hey, we need you to get this done, do this, that, and the other, and keep it moving, right?
Mm,
And he did it. Now, you can say and hate your collection. You can hate, I mean, the collection of Invicta all you want, but don't that seem sort of like what's the word I'm thinking about here, man?
mm,
It's not controversial, hypocritical of
mm.
you to badmouth somebody, right, that likes a particular watch, but you're telling people to love whatever brand you are. A lot of the people can't buy Rolex or AP or any of that. They can't.
Right.
It's impossible. That's not in
Right.
their pay grade. Somebody that's making $35,000 a year or $25,000 a year, or the people that just lost their jobs, all of those thousands of people that lost their jobs, if
Right.
they had savings, that's what they're living off of. And now they have to go into a completely different employment field, and they still like watches, right?
Yeah.
That's not gonna change, man. So you're out here preaching the gospel of the high end watch,
Right.
right? And then
Right.
for those people that don't get into it, like, and I heard people, like, I heard some people. I'm not gonna call them no gatekeeper, but it sounded sort of gatekeepish that you want to gravitate towards these watches and you want to stay away from the homage watches. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I will say this, and I'll go on record. if you cannot afford a Tudor Black Bay 58, right, and you see San Martin does it, buy the
Hmm.
San Martin because that's closer to what you can afford, flat
Right.
out. Now, if you want to wait and save up your pennies and stuff like that, keep this in mind. Fear of missing out could be your next like depending if you get a watch or if you eat your next meal. Because if you imagine you saved up all your money to get that Black Bay, so you going all this time, maybe the half the year, whole year, whatever, and you get that right. You finally get up there. You like, I saved the money. I've saved $500 or $5,800. I got it, and you buy the watch, and the next day something political comes down the field and they shut down stuff, and then you go to work, or actually you don't go to work because they call you, say, hey, sorry, you can't come in. You, oh crap, let me take this watch back. Yeah, we can't give you the value of that watch. Oh no, 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 you sized it, you didn't put it on your wrist. It's yours. You know what I'm saying? Like this can happen like days afterwards. So now you got to sit on that and hope you can sell it to, you know, and people like, hey, I don't know you. I don't know you to buy this watch from you. I'm look, I'm a hold because guess what? This whole thing economically is affecting everybody. So people gonna hold what they got. Uh-oh, we lost Santana. We lost him. My friend claimed. Hold on. All right. So while we doing that, because I know he gonna come back up. Hold up. There you go. There you
Bro,
go.
my phone overheat, man. It's not alive until something bad happens. The show must
The show
go
must
on.
go on, bro. Hey, I
I
wanna.
had an ice pack next to me. I had to throw my phone in the ice pack.
That's crazy, bro. Um, Hold up. Let's take a quick break because Singh is in here. He says, my friend claims he glued himself to his autobiography. I don't believe him, but that's his story and he's sticking to it. And another one says, which days are the strongest? Saturday and Sunday. The rest are weekends. Or weekdays. Weekdays. The rest are
Weekdays,
weekdays.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
What's
them
this say?
dad jokes, man.
What has five toes isn't your foot? My foot. Oh my gosh. All right, Sing, thank you for that comedy relief. We needed that. He said turn on the AC in that bad boy.
I had the AC on, bro. The phone was melted in the sun. I didn't think that through. I put the AC on the phone thinking that was going to be enough, and of course it wasn't. Show must go on, bro. You know how it goes. It's got to be something.
Hey, bro, let me
Some
tell you something. Uh, what was it? 2 years ago, I went on the Meet Na cruise and I was filming. I was recording the watches that I brought with me. It was 100 degrees out there. My son, the phone was in direct sunlight, bro. So I'm filming, I'm talking. Next thing I heard, doo doo doo, doo doo doo.
Yep,
That boy went out, bro. I had
gone.
to take it and I had the little plastic thing. I had to put it in there and I threw it in the water just for it to cool down, bro. The show must go on.
Yo, you think I'm joking, bro? Look, look, look. I got an ice pack right next to me. I had to throw that sucker in the ice pack.
Bro, bro,
What are you gonna do?
man.
But listen, where I cut off, what I wanted to say was this about you was talking about Rolex and gatekeeping and everything else, and how if you don't have that watch, and look, people got to realize you're coming from a world where you used to own a Rolex. We're coming from a world where you're knowledgeable. See, that's what I love about you. You don't just say things just to say them. You actually have knowledge on those brands. You speak about them, you incorporate them with your content. Now, I don't do that because I don't have the knowledge. However, I don't also reject those brands. I have a lot of respect for them. I often say that they pave the roads, right? And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you go, because the door has to swing both ways, right? And if somebody says they got a high end luxury brand, I'm like, yo, I'm just as excited. I'm like, cool, man. I just picked up this. I'm like, yo, that is fantastic. That's a fantastic watch. And I even told you on the last live, I strive to eventually get one day if I'm lucky enough financially to take a hit like that, if you will. But to say that that's the only watch, and if you don't have that, it's trash. No good, no good. You're putting the wrong message out there, and that's just like, we don't need that energy, man. You trash. I'm saying it right now. You trash. And if you got a problem with that, let's talk about it in person. Let's not do this whole typing thing on the computer, because a lot of people say a lot of things on this internet stuff and on the
Yeah.
keyboard, bro, and they smile in your face. I've already come across that being so new into this content thing. A lot of people smile on my face, pat me on the back, and then they go ahead and talk some other stuff. And I'm like, man, we were face to face. We were breaking bread. What happened to you?
Hey, listen, bro. I tell you, man. This goes across the board, man, because I do check in
Oh,
and
wait.
I do consume a lot of YouTube, enough to YouTube to see that if I was a new YouTuber and click on, or a new viewer, and I clicked
Yeah.
on the channel that's based around watches, sometimes they're not talking about watches when you first get on there, right? There's a lot of drama that goes around. There's a lot of
Mm,
racist crap that goes, like some of the stuff that people say, and you're responsible for what you say on YouTube, right? And I
yeah.
understand if you don't consider yourself to be an elitist. Some people act like elitists on here,
Hmm.
and let's break it down like this. You come here to this channel, right? We talking. I love community. You know what I'm saying? Like tonight, I'm going tonight around 7:30. I'm dropping a video, or actually premiere, on the company I found here. Was it PA Jewelers, right?
Okay.
Really nice spot. Bryce Curry and his wife, man, like amazing people. But here's the crazy thing though. People don't know what they don't know. If
Mm,
they want to know about Rolex, I've said this so many times. Go to an authorized dealer, man, and have them just show you some of the stuff, and walk you through it. Of course, that's their job, to sell you on the watch. But why beat yourself over the head trying to find a watch through YouTube if you've never touched it, especially when you're spending over
mm,
$5,000
good point.
or $6,000?
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing. Like home shopping networks back in the day, they were so successful because they would talk this watch, man. They make this watch dance and do all type of stuff. You order it, you get it home on your value page, what have you, and you make a determination if you like it or not, because you can always send it back if you're
Mm,
shopping through TV. But that's why we say, if you went to Macy's, I think is a great spot because they do sell some higher end brands. And when I hear the word off the shelf movement, let's not disrespect some of the movements that paved the way for some of these more elaborate movements. Valjoux 7750. If that man would have scrapped that design when they told him
hmm.
during the course crisis, you possibly wouldn't have some of the more elaborate and beautiful movements today.
Good point.
I mean, you had to start somewhere. Let's
Right.
respect that, man. Off the shelf, I can't make a Valjoux nothing. I can't put, if you put one in front of me and be like, hey, put this together. You put all the pieces. Guess what, man? That thing be doing the shake, boy, when it get through, man. They be like, I didn't even have to shake my wrist to get the thing to wobbling, man. What did Trap do to his movement? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, dude. And then let's bring back Vinicianico. I don't know if you heard the news, man. Listen, I put a lot of chips into Vinicianico, best of Italy, in my opinion. And they recently came out with an in-house movement, my man. And I believe they're calling it the V5000. I think it's just under 28,800. It's not exactly that. It's a little less. But dude, amazing feat, an amazing feat. And look how long. Because again, we've talked about them many times. And Vinicianico is a big company. They're bigger than you actually know. If you actually research on them, they're big.
Mm-hmm.
So all the efforts that they put in, all the years, all the designs, all the watches, they've been selling a lot of watches. And now they're at the point where they have their own in-house movement. And congratulations to them. And that's amazing. But
That's
understand
dope.
that, yeah, off the gate, though, how many fantastic web-based brands do we know that haven't done that yet? Because, dude, it's extremely expensive. You talk about the skill aspect, you're right. But like bringing in somebody to do that, bro, think about that for a minute. Go ahead and make something that's never been made before. And oh, by the way, if it's too similar, we're gonna have to call that based off of another movement. All the testing, all the preparing. Shoot, dude, that is super expensive and it takes a lot of time and energy. So there's nothing wrong. Listen to me if you haven't heard this before. There's nothing wrong with in-house movements. If anybody tells you differently, they're being a bully. I'm gonna keep it nice. And
Yep.
guess what? Those movements are fantastic. They're based off of movements that have stand the test of time. And when you do need a service, everybody and their mother is gonna know how to service that movement. There's not a watchmaker, I don't think, alive that doesn't know how to service an SW200. Okay, so when it comes time for it, you're gonna be happy that you went that way, and then you have a lot of fun with the designs that are wrapped around it. You know?
That's, you know what? I'm gonna piggyback on your Vinzianico.
Ve- Veneziano.
Bro, you are a great representation of that, as well as Brew at this point. Um, and I was looking at Vinzianico, and they're loved by some, hated by others. And I seen the hate groups. Oh my gosh, they absolutely hate it. They feel that
Get it.
it is a terrible representation of Venice. They are a dial-up company. Man, there's so many different things, right? And you know, I remember when I went out to wind up and they were sitting in the very back of the building where there's all these other watches, man. And I was excited to see all of them. But then I seen when there was this lady that got around and she saw it, she said, "Oh my gosh, you're here!" And she ran up, man. So the customer service has to be A1 because this woman wanted to take pictures. And then there's another group that wanted to take pictures with them. And I said, you know what? For a company to make people respond like that,
Yeah.
is amazing. And I say that because, bro, if I say this, if you have under 25,000 subscribers as a YouTuber, you're a small YouTuber, right?
Sure.
25,000 and above, you're on your way to greatness. But when I was at what 1,100 subscribers and I went to New
Hmm.
York, shout out to New York, and somebody pointed me out of the crowd, they were standing in line. It was a young lady and her husband. He was super tall too. This going back 3 years. They saw when they didn't see me. I had walked past them, and they just happened to turn around and seen a guy that had an Invicta shirt on, and they said, "Hey, you know, we didn't know there was an Invicta event. It had Trapvision on it." He's like, "Yeah, Trap is
Mm.
here." And my buddy called Fats from Fats and Tree. Called me, yo, Trap. I said, "What's up?" He said, "Man, come here." I walked back a half a block. I said, "What's happening?" And this lady lost her mind, right? She said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here." And I hugged her, and the husband hugged me, and they were like, "We watch your show all the time." And I said, "Wow, that made me feel great, bro." Like, out of
Yeah.
all these millions of people that come through New York, who would ever know somebody? I mean, I'm just like small YouTube, man, bro. So as
Right.
a watch company, think about how that feels that your thoughts. I don't care if you put an NH35. I don't care if you put an NH20. I don't care what you put in the Salida 200, 220, 212. I don't know, a Banjo Kazooie 15. I don't care what you put in the watch. If it gets people moving in the way of watchmaking and like horology, because you can't
Hmm.
have it to where you saying, man, hey, let's not dive into the Apple Watch. Let's keep horology alive through mechanical watches and the quartz watches and stuff. And but then you get to like elitists gatekeeping. Oh man, you wear a RGM or you wear an Invicta or you got on a Casio, and it's not your basic Casio. Like, what is this? I don't like that, man. That's trash. Get yourself a Rolex. Get yourself going and find you some business. That's what you need to do.
Kick rocks. Yeah, bro. Listen,
Kick rocks, bro. Like, that's
yo,
crazy.
you bring up the most important point of it all, dude. Like, if you don't know the feeling, like you mentioned somebody recognizing you from your channel, but if you don't know the feeling of going to a watch show and having a brand that you purchased their watch year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, and they know your name and they're like, "Oh, Skyler, what's going on? I remember you from the show and you bought that watch. How's everything going?" They remember you as a person, as you know what I mean. You feel like you're part of the family. And here's the deal, bro. It happened with me with Brew. I ordered my watch. I used a separate email. I didn't send him a message or nothing. I just wanted to buy the watch quietly, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan recognized the name, sent me a handwritten note, sent me a few things with the watch, and that made me feel really nice, man. And really feel recognized
Should.
and everything else. And even before that, bro, having the conversations with the brands at the lemonade stand, bro, these brands remember you. They want to talk to you, whether or not you're buying the watches. They're doing things for you before you buy a watch. Like the love you feel and the appreciation. And we're not talking about I spent 30 grand. You spend 30, 40, 50, 100 grand, whatever with somebody. Yeah, they might remember your name, but it may not be for other reasons, right? I bought a watch that's like this watch is like $400, bro, and they just appreciate me and they show that love all the time whenever I come around, and they get excited to have that conversation and build that relationship with you. So that's something that everybody should experience if you collect watches at least once. Not saying that Not trying to push any watches on you, like Captain Enabler over there.
Oh, what? Hey, I'm just saying, like, you got a visitor yet? Y'all got
He's just,
visitor?
yeah.
Huh?
Yo, but can I say something to you, Travis? It's real,
Yeah.
bro. It's real. Listen, I watch your content, and I knew nothing about Bernhardt. And when you told me about how far back their history goes, when you showed their watch, I can tell you this right now, bro. I haven't touched their website yet, but I'm gonna. And I'm gonna be looking for a watch because the price point is immaculate. I saw the connection you had with that gentleman. Fantastic guy. It's just another example. And it's like,
Bro,
why not have something that's affordable that you can connect to and has history and everything rolled up into one? I'm just saying, man.
that's bro, look,
I'm trying to give
bro,
you
look.
game.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And then here's the deal: is you, all of you, everybody's watching, from the top tier collector to if you're down here, I don't care where you are. You have to know your design language. You have to know what speaks to you. You have to know, like, and you'll learn it in time, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you a watch that has not been getting a lot of love on YouTube,
Mm.
man. This thing right here, and somebody pointed out that like this looks like Unicron, you know what I'm saying, from Transformers. Oh, yes, that's perfect, bro. Like that is perfect, bro. I said, yes, man. All I need is smoke to come out the lenses and stuff like that, bro. It's crazy. I like this watch. It is so different. And guess what? I will tell you this. If you think about buying it, it is so difficult to read the actual screen, bro. Like you got to turn your like, wait a minute, and not with glasses on, bro. I can have a loop on. Cassie, I love you, but this is hard to read.
The whole thing needs one big cyclops. Just the whole
Hey,
thing, just one big cyclops on it.
man, bro, I'm talking about, especially when the hand get a certain way, a certain time of day. I'm like,
Hmm.
God. Now at night, the light is great, and I was supposed to use this to wear working out in, right? Because I walk at night because I work second shift. I get off and I
Mm.
walk for like 6 or 7 miles in the evening. So I felt it better that I actually took. Not I took a page out of yours and Kimo Sabi down there. I know he's in here. I took my ball and I took the bracelet off and I put this strap on there, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Put a little strap on there.
Yeah.
I took the weight off so I could take the weight off. Bars. But you know what I'm
That's good. I
saying?
wasn't ready for that. That was good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
bro, so I enjoy this, and it's better to wear this at night because it's lit up like a Christmas tree, bro. Like I can just
Mm.
look down real quick at a glance instead of having to press the button to see the light. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And light discipline. I don't know if a sniper's looking for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a Decepticon, like, yo,
Oh
man, I see you
man.
got our technology, baby. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's anti-guerrilla warfare right there, bro. You you a target.
Hey, for real, bro.
But it's
Hey,
it's a cool
they can
watch, dude.
see
It's
you.
just yeah, they see you. That's just one of those watches that you just appreciate it, man. You don't even gotta read time. You know what I mean? It's one of those watches where somebody goes, "Hey, man, you got the time," and you pull out your phone.
Yeah, right,
You just enjoy it on wrist,
right.
bro. It's super cool. It's super cool. It's different.
Okay, somebody said they bought a fake Panerai. It has the ST3600 movement in a fake
Mm,
Panerai case. So that sounds like a
got
homage,
you.
bro. Um,
Yeah.
now get this. Oh, so let I want to talk about that real quick because um the fake watch market, right? I don't get into that, man, for a number of reasons, and
Hmm.
I'll tell you like this: it exists, it's huge. DH Gate and other companies do it. They'll ship off watches, and I don't know how they're able to sell these watches that's fake. But I saw a channel the other day where this young man he's making money off of these fake watches. But that just telling you, there's people that want that, and that's all about status because
Yeah.
there's this huge emphasis. If you don't have these watches in your possession, like you're nobody. You know what I'm saying? So some people are buying it for the history. Some people are
Hmm.
buying it because it has been, it's just a given. It's unspoken, or I guess it is spoken, it's marketed that this is success. So people want to be associated with success. They want to look the part, even if they're not. You know, it's that one of those terms, fake it till you make it type deal.
Yeah.
So I don't really, I'm not condemning anybody for buying a fake watch, even though I know on YouTube they'll say, hey, stay away from this, stay away from that. And like if that's the case, man, you want to get like real specific with stuff, man. You have cheated your way in things before. You can't those that clock in every day. If you're a smoker, right? You take your 15-minute break and then you take a smoke break. That has nothing to
Right.
do with your actual work. And after the course of the year, you have stolen enough time to go on vacation with from your job. So like,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You take that, and I know it has nothing to do with watches, but we're talking about a deception, right?
Yeah.
Because fake watches, they say, will contribute to, like, say, some type of activities as far as kidnapping and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad guys, the bad
Yeah.
guys. But there's some bad guys right here on YouTube because I'm gonna say this, and I don't hide behind my words when I say this. I've heard some of the stuff that y'all say on some of these channels. And when y'all get to talking about other races in a negative way that has nothing to do with horology, that's a nasty attitude. And you don't have to worry about anybody doing life is gonna kick you in your teeth, right? I'm telling you, life is gonna kick you in your teeth, man. You putting out some bad vibes out there, man. And that's why there's certain circles I refuse to go to because if you can't talk to me in a way that coincides with watches, the history of even my life, like the background of why I like what I like, or the fact that I'm a veteran. If it goes into, do you like chicken or do you like watermelon or are you a hip hop head? Bro, we're not talking about any of that, man. My food choices have nothing to do with that. And guess what? Fried chicken is a southern thing, right? That's not just a black thing. A lot of
Right.
people like fried chicken, so stop playing with me. All right?
Hmm.
That whole the nasty attitudes that some people have in here. If you are a watch creator, watch content creator, or you sell watches, that is your job. That is your responsibility on YouTube to do that for the people. Right?
Right.
I'm not here to be a disciplinarian for your channel. That's on you. If you got bad vibes in your body, man, I can't do nothing. Like that's poisonous though. But keep in mind, you come on my channel and y'all drop them little stupid comments, and I see the comments y'all drop in other people's channels. Y'all terrible.
Yeah.
Some people out here, you're terrible, man. Keep it watch, man. I would much rather you say, hey, I don't like this watch right here. I don't like it, and this is why. Or
Hmm.
like my Flederman, by the way, you know what I'm saying? Indiana based. But hold on. Let
Hmm.
me represent Indiana
Hmm. Go
real
ahead,
quick. You know what I'm
flex. Go
saying?
ahead, flex. Go
Indiana,
ahead,
the
flex.
Midwest stand up. You feel me? I got my man from New York. I got, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying, my
sir.
Indiana brands. Chicago right up the way, you know what I mean? Like Midwest, like salute. But my thing is, you got a right to say, I don't like this watch because it's too big. I don't like
Right.
this watch because I don't like the leather strap. It doesn't feel good on my wrist, or it just
Hmm.
doesn't appeal to me. You have every right to say that, right?
Sure.
But then when you say stuff like only poor people out of the hood, like,
That's
what?
crazy, bro. Like, yeah, it's so unnecessary. Like, I'm like, I don't, I don't know how I feel, bro. It's like on one half I want to get mad, but then on another half I'm like, yo, there's still people out there with that mind. I'm like, yo, you're a fossil, bro. You still think like that? I'm like, yo, you're
Mhm.
a fossil at this point. And yes, we are on the subject of something that has no sex, religion, race, none of that, man. It's all passion and it's all the love of watches all together. So it's like, why are you up here talking about that? And I'm just like, yo, you're a fossil, my guy. You just need to
For
die off.
real, bro. For real, right?
But I'll give you something else, man. Like you brought up a good point. It's like, why are you perpetuating that? Like so much so that you want to get something that's fake just to pretend that you're part of that. I'm like, yo, there's a deeper thing going on with you. Like you may have to look inward and say, why am I trying to perpetuate that? Why do I like, is that going to make you feel good? Is that going to complete you? There's so many other ways that you could go with watch collecting and money better spent, right? And not support bad people. So at the end of the day, man, is is the process, you know?
Man, bro, look, that's my thing. And I do want to drop this, man, because I think this is important. Web-based brands, micro, independent, whatever you want to call them, um, consider this. You got a number of companies like Oak and Oscar out there in Chicago. So just based on that, and you want something high end, and you want something that, listen, I'm gonna tell you this, they have made watches for the FBI. Like
Mm,
I was literally in a breakfast. There's things that like we had to put our phones down. You couldn't even record the stuff that they got, like the different designs, because it's an actual tool watch that they use right now, currently, as they're protecting the nation and stuff like that. And I was like, wait a minute. Think about that for a second. These guys create a watch company, right? With the thought of, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's entrepreneurship. I want to have my own. I want to do something. I want a piece of my idea to be out here in the world. I don't know if this is going to work. And not only
mm,
did it work, but it worked to where you have Federal Bureau investigations. The FBI is using that. Dude,
right.
that's crazy. And then you go over to Ferris Swick. His watches are being worn at Cubs games. Bro, like people are into this watch, but it's a topographical map of Chicago. I had to
Mm,
buy that. Hey,
yeah.
and I know, hey, listen, bro, I understand he a Cubs fan, Sox by default. I'm from the South Side, man. What are you gonna do about it? So at any rate, the fact that hold up, and if I didn't mention this before, Visitor got something big coming too, y'all. Oh my gosh. But Visitor is a company
Mm,
from Indiana. This right here. And some of you guys were like, hey man, this got the Chinese movements. It got this, man. It's not really American made. Well, neither is your cell phone. Neither is the starter of your car. The tires that you have on your car. You know what I'm saying? Like, who owns the energy company that powers your house? Is it American
right,
based, or is it like you don't know these things? And then once you find out, are you going to undo it? Are you going to
right.
stop driving your car? Are you going to walk?
No,
Oh, forgot those shoes that you got. Man, where was that made at? I mean, you can't get away from it. International
nah,
trade has been a part of the world's like that's how we interact with each other since before we was born, before our grandparents were born. You can't
right,
escape it. You
right.
can't escape it. But I'm saying this, just for those that don't know, I would say do some research. If you have a company like Laurier, which I'm representing New York too at the same time, um, if you have a company that's in your hometown, why not support it?
Yeah.
And for those that say if you like the idea or the aesthetics of a Rolex, this is the best thing without it being a homage. This thing
Mm-hmm.
takes cues from it,
Agree.
but it does not look like a Rolex. But it falls in the same category. It's a dive watch, got an oversized crown, man. It's a beautiful timepiece, man. This thing, man, is near perfect for me. But
Yeah.
I do have watches. I'm like, oh, this watch is perfect. You know what I'm saying? This thing is perfect for having a 24-hour scale on it.
Montrose
And
strap.
then it's lightweight
Supple.
with that strap. Shout out to my man that you know what I'm saying, because I want to know him about Montrose straps, you know what I mean?
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
again, bro, again, I think I'm not telling nobody. As far as me and mine's over here, anybody that's watching the channel, man, anybody that's like associated with me, if we rock, cause I rock with you heavy, bro. We just got a different mindset, man. Like we're me and you think on the same lines, but the people that watch, and I see that you growing, man, you growing huge. Um,
Appreciate
it's more of an encouragement to you, bro, because you're still new at doing this.
you. Yeah.
And I got, and I'm not gonna call him out, man, but somebody he'll do a video every 6 months. It seems like I'm not even gonna call you out. I ain't gonna call you out. I feel like I ain't got kicked out of a semi truck in a long time. You feel me? But I ain't gonna call you out. That's all right though. That's all right. Maybe one
You
day,
know who you
maybe
are.
I get a video by Christmas. I don't know, but but I ain't gonna
Tough
call
love.
no
That
names.
that's just tough love, baby. That's just tough love. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take that.
Hey, you feel what I'm saying, bro? So,
Yeah,
but
man. And look, I want to go back to what you said, bro, because I think that point is made so many times with, where's your phone made and everything else. But it's like you got to understand that too. It's like there are good manufacturing in China. Like you got to understand, they, like you said, they make your phones. You know what I mean? So you can't like not appreciate what they can do just because at the same country sometimes you get bootlegs and sometimes you get lesser quality. Sure, there's good and bad and in every place, but at the end of the day, they have high grade facilities and they make fantastic things that stand the test of time. They bring down cost on a lot of things. So for you to disregard anything, not just a watch, yeah, you got to look at where everything is being made and understand that there's different levels of manufacturing to which set item you're talking about, right? So that's a very good point, man. And that's just another silly rabbit hole that people get caught up on, but it's all right. We're here to balance that scale.
And that's what I can appreciate, man. So with that being said, bro, uh what's the next watch, sir?
Oh man, I didn't even know this
Yeah,
other brew was coming. To be honest with you, that was it wasn't an impulse buy, but it was one of the buys. I'm talking about the Lumi Mint that I just got. It wasn't an
yeah.
impulse buy, but it was one of those things where it's like my wife stole my old Loom dials, so I was like, I gave myself the pass to get this one. The next watch, I keep saying this, but I think the next watch is going to be a bigger one. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure who it is. I'm at the point, Travis, where I'm kind of going with my heart rather than my head, and I'm not easily impressed anymore. So when it hits me, I'll know, but I know for sure I'm gonna up it up on the price point. I may go a thou wow, or I may go 1,500. Uh, not that I have to spend that, but I want to open the doors to a Formex. I want to open the doors to a Christopher Ward. I'm ready for one of the bigger calibers and having more within what I value. So I don't know specifically just yet. I just have like a set of categories and bins where it's gonna fit, and then when it hits me, it hits me. Probably wind up, I'll know. But what about you?
So
You got something
for
away already. Da, 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 cat in the mail. You got something on the way already. Don't lie. Go ahead. Tell us. Tell us.
Hey,
Tell
so
us.
bro, listen. All right, so check this out. Here's the next step for me. Here's the next step for me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know I got a vacation coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gathering some watches right now that I'm gonna take on vacation. I'm gonna drop that video and stuff that I think would be nice for the average person to take with them on vacation. But I'm looking at aviation watches, man. Like I've been looking at some aviators, bro. So
Ooh.
the next one may be an aviator, man. It's something that got Vickers, man. We don't talk about that enough, man. Watches that got Vickers on them, man. And for those that don't know what Vickers are, man, it's just basically a treatment to the stainless steel that will
Mm-hmm.
last for a long time, a lot longer than
Yeah.
your actual 316. It's still
Mm-hmm.
316, but it's finished in a way to where you can scratch it up a little bit more. It's more durable. And yeah, there's a company that I'm looking at that, I've been looking at this
Mm-hmm.
company for a couple
Mm-hmm.
of years, man. And
Go ahead, say
you
it.
know,
Mm-hmm. You know. Go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
You got
hey,
the
bro,
model
you
number.
feel me?
You probably got the model number memorized already, man. Stop capping, man. We know you know.
What you
Just
talking,
tell us.
bro? Listen. I'm on hiatus, man, from watch collecting right now, bro. I'm on a
Mhm.
break, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Travis, Travis. No, you not.
what, bro? Hey,
I know
okay,
you not.
all right.
Let me
So,
ask you
so
this. Let
peep
me ask
game.
you this. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Do you know? All right, say aviation. That's fire. You seen what I did with the Jack Mason? He's got the Vickers on there. There's different levels to that game. There's 800, 1600. Vickers are cool. Vickers are important. All those little scratches, you could dodge that. Uh, what company? Do you know what company? Because there's a
I mean,
lot of
it's
companies doing
company.
great aviation.
Well, yeah, I mean, company called Traska. Traska, you know what I'm saying? Traska gasoline. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, hey, shout out to Wifey. Wifey's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Miss Santana in the
Uh-oh.
building. You know what I mean? Hey, hey, man, you
Yeah,
guys are
man.
a power couple, man. You
You
guys
holding
are
down the
bigger
fort.
than Jay-Z and what's his wife name?
Beyonce.
Yeah, that lady, the country singer. Yeah, her. Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got it, man.
Yeah, she's the
You
best.
guys
She's the
got it.
best. She's
Hey,
coming with me
but
to
yeah,
the
you know
Philly
what?
show. She's coming with me to
I'm
the
gonna tell
Philly
you,
show. I'm gonna hold that down.
so that's my plans to come out to the Philly show too. My plans to
Oh,
come to the Philly
oh.
show, but I'm gonna tell you the one watch that I really, absolutely, really want
Hmm.
is Formex, the Essence.
Yeah. I'm not mad at you.
Gosh,
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad
gosh,
at you. I
dude,
want that.
that ice
I want that
blue
too.
meteorite they dropped last month. Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah. They
my
keep going with it.
gosh,
They keep going with it. Didn't they also have? They had like a not a rose gold. They had a gold dial, but it was no. It was a meteorite. Meteorite gold.
it was
Man,
meteorite
if
and
you
gold.
Man, if you don't stop mixing these fantastic elements,
And then here go something for you guys that hasn't been to wind up yet. They carry with them a unique dial that you can only buy there.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's only
And
like
none of
them and
and
Rolex that has, right?
yeah,
That one.
here's the deal about that dial. Not one are the same. It's just like a fingerprint, and they're so different, man. It's artistic. And I was like, yo, it's a beautiful watch. It's worth a look. I think Formex, just based on the construction, the watch, and what they've been doing, man, I think that's like for me, it's one of the greatest watch companies out there. It's one of the and they're
Oh yeah,
definitely independent, bro. Like they're definitely an independent brand.
super.
And man, I'm just saying the way people fawn over some of these luxury brands, that's how I feel about that one. I think that's like the apex when it comes to like
Yeah,
for me, for my lifestyle. I say that's the perfect watch. And I'm still not gonna stop. That ain't my exit. I don't even think I have an exit watch.
there's no such thing. Yeah, let's stop. Let's stop right there. Let's not even go down that road.
Hey, you know what?
There's no exit one.
I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna reach out to Chat GPT and ask Chat, is there an app that I can link to my heart. So the day that my heart stops, it just makes a purchase of a watch that I don't have. So on my way up out of here, I'm buying the watch. I'm not
Yo,
gonna stop, baby. I'm
it'll
not
build it
gonna
for you, man.
stop.
That Chat GPT is on its way. I actually we talked about this, me and wifey. I said, listen, God forbid, but put me in that sucker double wristed. Don't put no solar on me because there ain't gonna be no solar.
Right. You know, hey, where you going, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
listen, man. That's how I feel about it, man. I actually changed my description page. So when you look up Trapvision 3D and you look at what's my about page, rather my bio,
Okay.
I changed it last night because I wanted something more authentic to who I am and what this channel's about, right? So you guys check a look because it's been different. I've changed it 5 times in the 6 years I've been on here, but this one that one's going to stay because I mean I do lives and stuff like that, everybody know, but if it wasn't for the people, man, this channel, like that's the most valuable resource. Of course, like you say, time, but people spend their time here, bro. So yeah,
Yeah.
if I didn't have you guys, I just be sitting here like, yo, is some guy with a socks hat on here talking about watches, man. Is anybody out there? Hello.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
yeah, bro. I enjoy this, man, and we all should enjoy it. And I'm not running from no smoke when it comes to debating watches, the history, horology, the whole nine, the
Hmm.
whole nine. I'm talking about that. Like, and I'll say this and leave it alone. Those you guys that are you preaching in-house movements, you're preaching luxury. Let's say all the companies go to that, then you might as well start paving the way and just giving a big welcome mat to the smartwatches because people are like, well, shoot, I can't even afford a Casio now because Casio has
Mm,
a freaking Swiss movement in it now. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm.
in-house stuff. I can't afford that.
That's a
Casio,
good
you
point.
imagine the Casio being $4,500
That's a good point.
chronometer
I didn't even think
certified
about it
junk.
that way, bro. That's a very good point. The diversity that it enables is something to be appreciated for sure. That's a very good point, bro. Like it just gives us so much more, and the design factor wrapped around anything is fantastic. What we're seeing today, for sure, for
He
sure.
said, he
What
said,
happened?
what he say? He was like double wrist in a casket is wild work. Oh my gosh,
I'm
bro.
dead serious too.
There's a Casio at 5K. Really?
There, I believe so. Yeah, I think Oscar's right.
I believe, man. Hey, listen, I saw Casio is the edifice. I just saw that today. NH35, and I think it's gonna be anywhere from $300 to $500. They're using
Hmm.
different wild materials. Well, I guess lighter materials and stuff like that. But yeah, that's on its way.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, hey man.
Absolutely,
So we're
man.
an hour and 4 minutes. You already know what it is, bro.
Yeah,
The
we gotta
show
land this
has to end
plane.
at this point, but we'll resume at another time. You feel me? So
Yes, sir.
what you got to tell the people before we get up out of the junk?
Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Everybody in chat, man. I know it's hard for us to engage in chat when we're doing this. We do the best we can, but we always see who's there. You guys are the family. You guys would make this
Yep.
all interesting. Otherwise, it'd be two lunatics just bantering and ranting on for no reason. So just know that we do appreciate everybody who shows up every single time. It's
Yep.
even more special when we're able to do something like this with me and Travis on here for sure. So Travis, thank you so much for making this space for me to come up on here. You've been a very big inspiration for myself. You're a very big reason why I even started, to be honest with you. So please keep doing what you're doing. I'm so excited, bro. If you come to Philly, we're gonna shut that thing down. And when you come to wind up, I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. There's a lot of energy and a lot of synergy between us on live, but in person, woo, they're not
It's over
ready.
with.
Yeah,
It's over
it's
with.
over with, man. Yeah,
It's
they
over
gonna.
with, bro.
I'm
Like,
telling you,
dude,
I'm
we about
telling
to
you,
tear the city up. You
they
feel
gonna
me?
close blocks.
It's bruh. Bruh,
It's
I
gonna be a lot
look,
of
man.
fun.
I'm telling you, man. I'm coming with that energy, man. Cause like, yeah, my goal is to come out to Philly. Definitely got to see that. I haven't been to Philly in a long time. Last time I was there, I was in the army, and I didn't get a chance to like, you know what I'm saying, visit. I was working, so
Mm, mm,
now I get a chance to like sit back, look at some watches, man. Give me a
yeah.
Philly cheesesteak, the authentic chili,
Yes,
Philly
sir.
cheesesteak. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. So yeah, bro, I'm in the thing, man. So y'all, everybody, I appreciate y'all. I see the lightning strikes in there. Yep, and we are about to we out of this thing. The plane has landed, as like you would say. Thank you guys for watching, man. And until the next lightning strike, y'all be blessed.